Hi guys, time for another Blu-ray update for you. There's only 6 items this time, but the length will be explained due to the fact I'm going from least impressive to most impressive. Not in terms of how much I like the item, but more of what is in the item. You'll get to what I mean later. So first item I got was Jerry Maguire, and in case I didn't mention, these are all Blu-rays. I had heard good things about this movie, but it took me forever to get around to seeing it, but once I did, I really loved this movie. Had I been doing my first YouTube channel when I saw this, I would have given this a 4.8. It could be that it goes down a couple of pegs now that I've already seen the movie, but I remember liking it, I wanted to get it, it was cheap. This next one, it's basically the same thing as Jerry Maguire. Heard good things about it, took me forever to get around to seeing it, rented it, and liked it. Bought the Blu-ray of Unstoppable. Yeah, I really fell in love with this movie. I really am kicking myself for not checking this out before I did, although not as much as the next item. And it's got the slipcover, so that's really cool. Now, I got this at Costco for $19 plus tax. This is a Blu-ray trilogy, but for this particular Blu-ray trilogy and all the special features that are in here, that's actually quite a good deal compared to other prices I've seen it come out on. What am I talking about? The X-Men trilogy. I've actually already reviewed these movies, but I'm not too impressed with that video. I'm considering doing redos of those videos because I reviewed this trilogy over the course of 3 videos where I reviewed one movie in this trilogy, one movie of the Transformers trilogy, and one movie of the Mummy trilogy. I'm considering getting all those movies, rewatching them, and then coming out with a different review thingy of that, but I'll give you a tiny bit of my thoughts about these 2 movies anyway. X-Men, I like that movie, but I agree with the 2 major complaints about it. It's a bit of a simple movie, and Cyclops. X2, many consider this to be one of the better comic book movies out there, and I agree, I really enjoyed it. X-Men 3, yes, it is definitely a huge step down. They should have waited to get everyone back, do this correctly. Not exactly the best way to finish it up, but I actually enjoyed seeing it, actually. Although I have to admit it's more of a popcorn level of enjoyment rather than a well-done movie, which is more like the other 2. Basically, it gets 3 on the critique scale, 4 on personal enjoyment, I'll tell you that right now. Now, this next one is going to take a while to explain. This is one of the items that Zaran Izarak ended up talking me into buying. He's a real fanatic about this movie. I've seen the cut that everyone apparently considers to be the best. About 4 years ago, I didn't really like the movie, though, but from what everyone says about it, how there's a lot of deep themes and understanding towards this movie, and then if you watch a bunch of the other special features that you'll understand more about the movie, and then you'll see how different cuts give you a different message at the end. So I figured, you know what, let's just give it another try. So I found the 5-disc Blu-ray Collector's Edition on eBay for $31 in pretty dang good condition, so I figure I'll give it another try, and if I don't like it again, I can easily sell it to somebody for that same price, and hopefully they'll enjoy it. What am I talking about? Because I'm not doing this justice at all. Blade Runner. I bet that was a shock. But yeah, this is the 5-disc Collector's Edition, where you've got the booklet, you've got the final cut of the movie here, the 3.5 hour-ish long documentary here, the other 3 cuts of the movie that apparently all have their problems. You're gonna need to look it up on Wikipedia, but I basically understand the differences between each cut, but I can't recall them off the top of my head to you. Then there's the special features disc, and then there's the work print version. That's the only cut that doesn't really make any sense to me. All the other cuts, final, theatrical, director's, international cut, that all makes sense to me. Well, we'll see how this one goes. This next item is another item that Zeranizarak talked me into getting, but it wasn't just him. I've heard a lot of good things about this, how it's done a lot of awards and all that, and how HBO basically did it again, and having seen what they did with Band of Brothers and The Pacific, although not liking that one as much, I know how good HBO is, and I figure, alright, might as well give this a try. It's in pretty great condition. It's basically brand new without the shrink wrap and all that. $37, not too much to risk on a blind buy, especially given the fact that it's the Blu-ray edition. Game of Thrones. I don't have to say anything more, do I? Because either you know about Game of Thrones and you will enjoy the show, or you don't know about it and know basically what everyone else is saying, aka you're me. Because I actually haven't watched a second of this. I'm still working my way through Battlestar Galactica. I'm only halfway. Ugh. And finally, we're getting into one of my crown jewels of the collection. I had to shell out a grand total of $142 if you count shipping and sales tax and all that, but from what parts of this franchise I have seen, I really think that this will be worth it. And since it regularly goes for about $250, I got it for $100 off, and I'm proud to announce Mr. Inhibitor now owns the James Bond collection. And just so you guys know, this has an empty space in it for Skyfall. That's the correct thing. I always confuse it with Skynet. I don't know why. And since the Blu-ray edition, as far as I can tell, is just one disc, they aren't going to release a 2-disc version of it. It'll fit nice and snug in here. So I plan on purchasing Skyfall, and then I'm just going to put it in here so that way I, you know, have everything. So I have seen some James Bond movies. I've seen Live and Let Die, Roger Moore's first movie. I've seen the very beginning of The Man with the Golden Gun. I've seen some of Sean Connery's movies. Diamonds Are Forever, Thunderball, Goldfinger. There we go. And then I've also seen half of Casino Royale, and then I've seen all of Pierce Brosnan movies except for Tomorrow Never Dies. I think that's his first one, yeah. GoldenEye, World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day, yeah. So what my plan is, I'm going to watch these movies in order, and then before I see the next one, I'll give you my thoughts. So there's definitely going to be some bits where I say, I like this movie, but there's a problem with it, and then it could be rectified the next one, you know? Well, I consider that a pretty good haul. Bye.